Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We're at 1085 Southeast Oak Street here in Hillsboro. Located at the front of the house. We're about 3-4 feet in from the front left corner of the home. That's as you face the house from the street. So going into a 4-inch cast iron clean out here. The clean out did not have a cap on it. I do recommend a cap be placed on it so that dirt doesn't get into it or kids don't drop rocks into it. And check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water is running and we are zeroed out. Off we go. Line just swapped over to 4-inch 3034 PVC a moment ago. That's the green pipe, and now we're switching. It's hard to tell what this is right now. It might be ABS plastic. The pipe's a little steamy. We'll get a little better view of that stuff on the way out. I just went through a spot there with some standing water. We'll assess that on the way out. I've got a bathtub running right now, putting a decent amount of water down the line, so we'll see how that looks once the pipe's all drained off. And then back to 3034 PVC, and it looks like we're hooking onto the main right here. There it is, at 50 feet. So we're gonna go locate, and we'll pull back in here in just a moment and take a better look. All right, we're gonna pull back here a little bit and relocate. I'm having a hard time picking up on a clear signal. Alright, so I'm pulling back here, and my camera, my original signal that I got, I think actually was correct. Where I just located there, if you go to the front left corner of the property, it's probably not even property at that point, but this is in the sidewalk. Right where the mailbox is out here that lines up with the left side property edge, there's a cover in the ground there. That's right about where I located that signal. As I pull back, everything's lining up with it. I think there could be a main lateral running up and down the left side of the property, because out in the road, in line with where I located that, is a manhole. And that's very indicative. Anytime you have a main running through a property and it goes out to the road to intersect with the main in the street, you're going to have a manhole there. That's kind of how this is looking right now. So that's something you'd probably have to pull up through title to see if there's any easement documents or anything like that.
Yeah, I know. Me and my daughter were in the kitchen. We're gonna move to the side if that's right.
All right, right now I am locating the belly in the line here. There's a couple inches of standing water. From what I can tell here, I think when that tree came out of the ground, I think it had something to do with this. Where the belly starts is right on the perimeter of where that tree pulled out, where you can see the crater that was formed. And usually those things are not coincidental. That's my guess is when that tree pulled out, the line here is only 2 feet deep too. And those roots, I promise you, were in and around that depth, if not deeper. When that whole thing pulled out of the ground, it probably just absolutely ripped all of the supportive dirt out underneath the line and caused it to settle. Those roots will often grow under the line and or adjacent to it. And when all that dirt gets pulled out, it's been compacted for forever, it loosens everything up. That's most likely what led to the belly here. All right, so in and amongst that belly there, the line makes a turn. So as you face the home from the road, the line basically runs straight towards the road. Once it gets under the sidewalk, it shoots directly left towards the left side edge of the property, towards the mailbox that's at the very front leftmost corner of the property. And only about 1 foot 8 inches deep there. That's got to be the first time I have done almost 25,000 sewer scopes. I don't know what else would have caused that. When you see how those markings line up where that tree came out, there's just, I can't see any other way that was caused. But anyway, I'm going to reset the foot counter here really quick so I can get some kind of
idea of how far it is.
Depth, or yeah, just a foot mark on it. I mean, I can eyeball it. It's about a 12-foot section of pipe there.
So are you self-employed then?
So the belly here is holding enough standing water. You can see some of the particulate debris that's hanging up in it. The concern with bellies in a sewer line is I describe it kind of like hitting the pool at the bottom of the water slide. It's designed to stop you and stop you relatively quick. So the same principle applies as solids come down the line and run into standing water, it slows them down and or stops them. The length this belly is with the depth of water that's in it, most things, if not everything that you put down the line here is going to stop in that belly and convey along after that point just under disintegration and any follow-up flushes or water draining through the line from sink showers, things like that. So that's how you can get your potential for blockages to occur. That is one I'm going to recommend a correction on. It's approximately, I'll have to go back and review the original footage here for the exact length that is, but it's about a 12-foot section of pipe, approximately. It's between 1 foot 8 inches and 2 feet deep. It's very, very shallow, easy to get to. The bummer is that about the latter half of it is underneath the sidewalk. So there is some concrete repairs to do there. So I'll try and show this with the camera for any repair guys watching the video. It's pretty simple to figure out. Just get that way just a little bit. So right now we're looking straight away from the clean out towards the road. So right in front of us, you can see that big dirt patch there. Right when the line gets to the edge of that dirt patch is where the belly starts. So it goes through that area there. Once it gets to the sidewalk, it turns and shoots right over to about where that mailbox is at. And if you go to that mailbox and look into the road, straight ahead of it is a manhole in the middle of the street. What it looks like there's going on here is from what I can see anyway, it looks like a main lateral is on property. Either this property or the neighbors adjacent. It's worth looking into. I don't see very many party lines in this part of town. I've had a handful over the years where when the line is on a busy enough street, sometimes the city will allow for them, just so it's not disrupting traffic too much to install them. So it's just, you want to look into that to make sure that there's nothing about this thing the city doesn't like. Either make sure there's an easement for a main, and or the city's allowing for some kind of party line set up here to exist. If any repairs are done, make sure you do a rescope afterwards to check the work. And you want to do that when the trench is closed. You want to compact the ground, get it ready for concrete pour. That way there's a load on top of the sewer line. Rescope it to make sure no settling occurred, and then bury it at that point. You don't want to do everything, button the whole thing up, and find out it bellied out on you again, which does happen more frequently than I'd like to tell you. So anyway, up to that belly there, all the pipe, the rest of the line has good flow, doing its job, and is in good shape. The pipe out there that's bellied does not appear broken. It's settled. Plastic pipe is quite strong, can settle quite a bit without breaking, but you do have the issue there of standing water that has the potential to cause buildup and blockages to occur. So if repairs are not done, I would rescope the line periodically to watch for buildup and hydrojet as needed. The big things when you're trying to avoid blockages occurring with bellies, treat the line nicely, no grease buildup. You want to avoid grease buildup anyway. Don't put fats and oils down the sink, wipes, paper towels, stuff like that down the toilet. Keep it to folded toilet paper, stuff that disintegrates easily.